Calls to bring Margaret Thatcher back from the dead to fix train strike shenanigans. That is from the Daily Express.
Ah.
Do we know if she's been cryogenically frozen, Margaret Thatcher?
Like Walt Disney?
Like Walt Disney. But is that even true? I don't know. Where does the... Is that something I've just read in an article? And does that in itself prove your point?
He was beheaded
Yeah.
after death.
Not that wasn't his cause of death. He wasn't dragged out.
You know, they're like, oh, remember when Walt Disney got beheaded? And
Yeah.
you're like, uh-oh.
That'd be more of a conversation starter.
Yeah.
They froze his head because they said, look, forget about the body. It's all about the brain. Probably for storage as well, because if you're just freezing heads, then you can
there's less. You can do more of
fit
them.
a lot more. So so he was frozen, but that was in like 1969, and
he's still not back with us now.
No,
So
can't do it yet.
yeah,
I'd be worried that when they can do it, which I would suggest is another 100 years,
yeah,
they would get him out of what would be a very old freezer at that point.
yeah.
Because you really wouldn't want to spend
You're
very
not
much time.
going to want to
moving.
unplug it, are you? Once it's in and
No.
it's running, and you've got Walt hooked up.
Got a better freezer
Walt
over there.
and Maggie.
Well,
Are they in the same freezer?
I didn't.
Possibly not.
I thought Maggie got cremated.
Right.
I don't understand where these. I don't think this is going out on a limb. I don't think these calls are realistic.
No.
I think as well that even if it were possible to reanimate Margaret Thatcher, she probably, even I don't know, it's been 10 years. She probably wouldn't remember her political views, or they take a long time to come back. You know how someone's been in a coma.
She'd have the body of Margaret Thatcher in the mind of a child, a liberal child, which is exactly what they don't want.
They don't want that because that would continue the shenanigans.
It would be pointless. It would be a pointless act.
So what was the headline again directly?
Calls to bring Margaret
Calls.
Thatcher back from the dead to fix train strike
Who are they calling?
shenanigans.
Yeah.
So
Who's
Someone
calling?
has rung up a number
Yeah.
and they've made a few assumptions before dialing
Yeah.
it. They've assumed.
Is it one
Maggie.
call or is it
Yeah.
lots of calls?
who do you call?
Yeah.
Walt's
And you just mind doing that. So you're assuming instantly
I'm
that
going
whoever's
back
making
to-
those
gone back in
calls,
time.
they've not updated.
I'm using the phones that were prevalent during Thatcherism
That's
with
clever.
my, and I think the person making those calls would probably be from that time as well, because they would say Thatcherism, the 1980s, I loved it.
peak.
If she hadn't been dead for 10 years,
We
none
wouldn't be
of
in the mess
this,
that we are now.
none of this train strike shenanigan,
Yeah.
or plural, would be going on.
Perhaps they've lost their heads a little bit. They're
Oh,
calling
yeah.
up. Who are they calling? They don't know. No one's on the other end. They're saying, Maggie,
Just
is that
lifting
you?
the receiver. It's not even
I'd
plugged
say at
in.
that
It's not
point,
plugged in.
at that point, the train strikes have won, haven't they? I think if you become so deranged due to the train striking action that you're trying to summon Margaret Thatcher from the dead
Yeah.
via a landline,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say you've lost the plot.
If you were that desperate, hire a hitman or something.
Yeah.
I mean, you just say, oh, just get them shot or whatever,
Hire a
It-
hitman to bring back Maggie.
No,
I
to
think
deal
that's-
with the train strikes. Just go around just shooting people.
But then there wouldn't be anyone to drive the trains, so the strikes would continue.
No, they probably no. I think
No?
you'd shoot union leaders. You wouldn't shoot train drivers because they'd probably go along with it, like the intimidation factor.
Can the union leaders themselves not drive trains? Do they have a leg to stand on in any of this then? I think if you don't know how to drive a train, should you be wading in on this issue?
Should we be teaching kids to drive trains? Is that the solution?
Maybe.
Problem they've got is that nowadays there can just be a bloke on a computer who drives all the trains remotely. They're not happy about that because they still want people in the carriage to drive the trains for customer safety, they say, but it's not really. It's more about maintaining power. And so they're like, right, we got to keep these people here for customer safety, but in reality there's just buttons they can press. Because I mean, really, it's all on an electric track, isn't it?
They're just pressing buttons
Yeah.
inside the carriage,
Just
aren't
stop
they?
and go, I think.
Yeah.
Like, go.
Green.
Green is go.
Mm-hmm.
Red is stop. These are the kind of things that a reanimated Margaret Thatcher would point out to them in quite an aggressive way.
Do you think?
So colourblind people can't drive trains either, can they? Because you always
I hope
colourblind
not.
kids get told that, can't they? That they can't fly planes,
Can't be
but
pilots, yeah.
driving trains as well. They should be That should be reinforced
Trains,
to them.
planes,
It's terrible because
automobiles, out.
they'd never remember like, oh, the top one moves it and the bottom one stops it. Like
If
they
you're
wouldn't be able
colourblind
to. So they
sometimes.
go, look,
In the moment of panic, you're
Yeah.
going to forget which direction something's in. You're just
Apparently.
relying on colour. You're going on colour, adrenaline at that point.
they both look like brown,
Mm-hmm.
you know, to those people, and they're just like, what one was it? And you know, with my logical brain, I would be like, if the train is going forwards, you can only press like go so many times. You keep pressing go, it doesn't get faster, does it? Like go.
Well, does it?
Go,
I mean, that's another. None of us know how to drive trains.
No,
Maybe
no,
it does get
I've never driven a
faster.
train.
If you're hitting go repeatedly,
You'd have
maybe
to-
it goes faster.
You have a
Just
lever, I
lever,
think.
yeah.
This is all speculation. I don't know.
I'm not sure if there's a lever.
Maybe we could ring someone up
Go.
and ask them if we could go inside. You know, the
They wouldn't let you, not when
No.
there's a strike on.
Not when there's
'Cause they
strikes
would
on.
say,
What
"You're-
if we-
you're
You'd
not
have to
I'll
push
dress up
past
as
the
Maggie.
picket line.
I'll dress up as Maggie,
Yeah.
use my acting skills,
Mhm.
go.
Do you have a Margaret Thatcher impression? No, you don't have one.
That's going to be a flaw in the plan, I think.
I think
You
like
could teach me.
she had a deep.
Very deep.
Dennis,
She worked at having quite a deep voice, didn't she? That was what
Dennis.
my
The
knowledge of.
lady's not for turning.
Yeah,
The
dress
lady's
you
not
up.
for turning.
yeah.
Hmm? With a wig,
Yes.
have a shave.
If you want.
The lady's not for turning.
We can find
The
out firsthand.
lady's not for dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not for
The
reanimation, though,
lady
is she?
is
Either.
for
She hasn't been cremated.
reanimation.
Love you. Hmm?
No, I was just saying the lady is for reanimation.
Well, she
She's
would
not
if
if she's cremated. That's the.
you
Oh.
can't
that's
turn
the
powder
problem.
back into a purse.
I don't think they're going to go for it.
What do these people
somehow.
want then? They've not thought that through, is what I'm
No,
thinking.
they want an end to train.
They want the end to the train strikes, don't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah.
And do we think that Margaret Thatcher would be able to do that? Could we bring her back?
I think
Hypothetically.
I think it would be just. I think the train strikes in that situation would pale into such insignificance because you would go, oh my god,
Hold on
She's
a
back
minute.
from the dead.
What
Not
is she
just
doing
her.
here?
Yeah.
How did she get here?
Mm-hmm.
She was but a bit of dust.
yeah. So we've not only it's better than Walt Disney because we've reanimated a cremated person. That is a far bigger story.
Do we
Is-
know if she was sorry?
No.
Do we know if she was scattered? Because that
Harder still.
exactly.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, do you think it possible? And I'm not one, for wild theories, but maybe they take a DNA sample of all the world leaders at a point where they become a world leader, just in case they have to claim them at some point. And again, I'm not one for wild conspiracy theories, but that is just something I have heard. So maybe you wouldn't even need to collect the scattered
You just
dust.
make a clone.
You've got that DNA on file.
But, but then it's a question of nature versus nurture because
Yeah.
you would, first of all, to have any authority,
Yeah.
she'd need to be alive now.
Yeah.
She'd probably need to be.
You can't wait for a child to grow up, and then we'll be done with
I
trains
see
by the
what
time
you're
she's old
saying.
enough.
And I don't think you're born with like a strong political conviction. It's usually sort of based on like who you were around and who your
I
parents
think there
were.
would be people that argue that if anyone was, it would be her.
Yeah, she might power through it. She might be like, no, this is
Same,
the
same
way.
again. Yeah.
yeah,
That same
monetarism,
DNA added up to tyrannical,
power.
powerful.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
What's the second headline?
The second headline.
Did you enjoy this video? Was it really something? Don't hesitate to share it with all your friends to ensure their ongoing loyalty and respect for your good taste. By failing to share, you admit that you didn't understand the clever nuance within the content, and we accept your apology.